Welcome to Exposed Breaks. If you like this video, please do not forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.
Death. It's a word that often brings silence, sadness, and fear. But what if I told you that in some cultures, it's celebrated with laughter, music, and even dance? What if death wasn't just an end, but a vibrant beginning, filled with color and life? From Mexico's lively Day of the Dead to Madagascar's awe-inspiring Famadihana, we're about to explore some of the most fascinating, jaw-dropping, and heartfelt death celebrations from around the world. Stay tuned, because what you're about to see will completely change the way you think about life, death, and everything in between. In our culture, we tend to view death as an end, a final farewell to the person we loved. We mourn, we grieve, and we try to move on. But for many cultures around the world, death is not just an end, but also a beginning. It's a time to reconnect with loved ones, to honor their memory, and to celebrate the life they lived. It's a fundamentally different approach, one that can be both beautiful and fascinating to explore. Take, for instance, the common perception that death is this taboo topic that we shouldn't discuss. But in many cultures, death is not something to be feared or hidden away. Instead, it's something to be acknowledged, celebrated, and even laughed about. Of course, this can be really hard for us to understand, especially when our own cultural norms are so deeply ingrained. But as we explore these different perspectives, we begin to see that there's beauty in the way that other cultures approach death. In Mexico, for example, the Day of the Dead is a time of great celebration. Families gather together to honor their loved ones, decorating altars with flowers, food, and drink. It's a time to reconnect with those who have passed on, to share stories and memories, and to celebrate the lives they lived. In Madagascar, the Famadihana is a similar tradition, where families exhume the bodies of their loved ones and rewrap them in new cloth. It's a time to honor the dead, to celebrate their lives, and to reconnect with the ancestors. The rituals and traditions surrounding death can be incredibly varied, and yet they all share a common thread, a deep love and respect for the deceased. In Ghana, for example, the fantasy coffin is a tradition where the coffin is custom-made to reflect the interests and passions of the deceased. It's a way of honoring their memory, of celebrating their life, and of saying goodbye in a truly unique way. But one of the most striking death celebrations I've come across is the Dancing with the Dead festival in Taiwan. In this festival, families hire professional mourners to dance and sing alongside the coffin, accompanied by a brass band. It's a way of honoring the dead, of celebrating their life, and of providing a sense of closure for the family. What's really striking about this tradition is the level of joy and celebration that surrounds it. It's a truly unique and fascinating way of approaching death. At the heart of these death celebrations is a deep sense of love and respect for the deceased. They're not about mourning or grieving, but about celebrating the life that was lived and honoring the memories that we share with them. It's a fundamentally different approach to death, one that can be both beautiful and profound. So, what can we take away from these unique cultural traditions? Perhaps it's the realization that death is not just an end, but also a beginning, a time to come together with loved ones, to celebrate life, and to honor memory. Whether it's through the Day of the Dead, the Famadihana, or the Dancing with the Dead festival, these cultures remind us that there's beauty in the way we choose to respond to death. Thanks for joining me on this journey into some of the wildest death celebrations around the world. If you've got a unique cultural tradition you'd like to share, be sure to leave it in the comments below. And if you want to explore more unique cultural traditions, be sure to check out my next video.